Hello, pals. Welcome back to the road. Today, we have on special guest Browning Stubbs, who is a longtime friend and a producer for the Longhorn Network, and we're going to be talking about the NBA cool teams, aka the all cool teams. These are players that maybe they're not multi-time all-stars, and if they were like injury replacements or something, but they're cool as heck, and they're going to be fun. We have very different teams, and I hope you enjoy. Now, today on the road, we welcome on Longhorn Network producer Browning Stubbs to announce, and we're going to be drafting our NBA All Cool teams. Before we get started, we're going to lay down some ground rules. The player that we're getting drafted is based on coolness, not actual production. So we're talking about guys who get their buckets in the coolest ways. We're talking about guys that are just fun to watch. Maybe they're not all-stars. Maybe they're not their first options on their teams, but you're going to tune in on NBA League Pass when nothing else is on. So basically, we have some rules. The player can have made one all-star team. They can have made an all-star team, but they can't have been a starter. And this is a snake draft, so the person that goes first is going to go fourth because it's going to, you know how snake drafts work, right, Browning?
That's right.
All right. And you're the guest, so you get the first pick. Well, you're going to get the first two picks because we pick our coaches first as well. So
Right.
Who is going to be the anchor of your all-cool team?
My anchor, I'll start with my head coach. My head coach is Shane Battier. Shane Battier is a player. When I first started watching the NBA, the Memphis Grizzlies moved to Memphis. My family got tickets, and I fell in love with Shane. Just a hard-working guy, was an all-star at Duke. And it's really crazy. His rookie year had his highest scoring average of his whole career. And why I like Shane is Shane, I went to see like a guest speaking that he put on one time. And he basically said it's about, if you miss a shot on offense, if you airball it, it doesn't matter. Just get your ass back on defense and make the better play. Just make plays, be effective. And he was never an all-star, but he was always on winning teams. Shane was a guy, in Game 7 of the 2013 NBA Finals, made, 7 3-pointers? I think it was crazy. So Shane is a good role model, a person that played for the Grizzlies twice, hit the best shot in Grizzlies history to win our first playoff game in 2011. And he was just a cool guy and always just a good guy to have on your team. Was a part of a 22-game winning streak with the Rockets, and the Heat won, what was it, 27-28, So Shane Battier would be a great coach.
Okay, so you've got your coach. You've got the Shane man, Mr. Battier. Who's going to be the franchise player on the all-cool team?
Let me get my roster. Okay, so it's funny. There's 5 – okay, so I got 5 players, point guard through center, and a 6-man. Should we start with the point guard and go down?
You got to pick whoever's first on your board because if I take your player, you can't have him.
That's right. Okay. My first pick, C.J. McCollum.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, man. CJ is smooth, and there's so many good guards in the Western Conference that he's never got his due as an all-star. But that elimination game, Game 7 versus Denver last year, he took over in that fourth quarter, hit clutch shots, and Mike Green, the broadcaster, made it seem like it was a finals game because of all the CJ McCollum, oh my God, it was incredible. CJ is just I don't really see a lot of 5 for 20 games from him. I mean, he's really, really efficient, and he's just a really cool guy and can get to the rim, can make great plays, and he's not been an all-star, and I think he's one of the best non-all-stars in the league today.
All right, it seems like you're going to be taking a different approach than I am with my team because my team is not designed to win games. It's not designed to even be competitive in games, but it's designed to get on SportsCenter top 10, which is why my head coach is Lance Stevenson, who is not in the NBA right now, so he's eligible to be a coach. He is somebody that For every wonderful play he makes, he does a lot of things that are just showboaty. He does it for the fans. He'll go 1 for 8 with 9 assists, 12 turnovers, but I love every minute of it because we are here to entertain. We are the Harlem Globetrotters of the NBA, and it's going to start with the coach who is the king of showboating, and that is Lance Stevenson. It doesn't matter if we're going to be blowing in LeBron's ear. We're going to be untying the shoes of our opponent, and if there's no one better than that, than Lance Stevenson.
Over under 5.5 ejections in the 82-game season as a coach.
Oh, way over. If he's not getting ejected at least every other game, I'm firing him. So yeah, let's see. But do you know who my franchise player is going to be? He's a guy that does nothing but get buckets. And when I mean nothing but get buckets, because he's literally a complete liability in just about every way on the other side of the floor, it's Zach LaVine. He's going to average 25 points a game and give up 30. But guess what? He's going to have high-flying dunks, mind-stopping three-point shots, and he is going to make the fans happy with what they paid for. Because, gosh, I'm charging $15 for popcorn. They better be happy because they're going to be able to see Zach LaVine do some crazy things, and we're still going to lose. And I guess I got to pick again because it's a snake draft. And so my second pick is a guy who's improving a lot, and he probably won't be allowed on this list in a few years because he'll probably make multiple all-star teams. But as of right now, he gets buckets in so many ways, in so many old-school ways. My
player,
Brandon Ingram.
Woo, okay.
Brandon
I thought you were killing my guy.
He's lanky. He's, I think, 6'10". He's basically he plays like Kevin Durant, but he's worse in just about every way. So he's going to get cool buckets. He's going to get you 23, 24 points a game, just not as efficient, just not in the way that Kevin Durant can take over. But is it fun to watch? Yes, it's fun to watch. That is why I'm picking New Orleans Pelicans forward, Brandon Ingram. And so, it leaves Browning with his next choice.
Going with a small forward with range, deep three-point ability, can get to the rim, is surprisingly athletic, and he's one of your favorite players, but Bojan Bogdanovic. Never been an all-star, and he's just fun. I mean, he can get to multiple spots on the court, and I was stunned in Indiana let him walk, but man,
he doesn't play help D. He doesn't play help. And the thing is, it's not that he doesn't play help D. It's that like he could play help D. He just walks over there nonchalantly, which I guess you could call it cool, but I don't know. The way he gets his buckets isn't cool enough to me. So, but you know, to each their own. I think our teams are just going to be very different.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if we draft one of the same guys, but at the rate we're going, probably not. But I would love to have Bogdanovic on my team. As long as my other 4 guys can play D, I feel really good about plugging him in.
All right, so then we're snake drafting this. So you get the next pick.
My next pick, as a guy who I think is fun and really had a chance to make the All-Star team this year, and he's had a long journey in the NBA, but I don't know if he's on the right team at the moment, but I think he's a guy that's really, really fun, and that's Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer Dinwiddie is a 5th option on a lot of teams, but can be a number 1 option on Brooklyn. And I just find him fascinating. He's not afraid to take the last-minute shot. He can shoot. He can get to the rim. His teammates seem to like him, and the Nets seem to have more fun with him as a point guard than Kyrie Irving. So I'm taking Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, we're gonna have polar opposite teams here because I was considering him, but I'm thinking that guy, he's good. He's not cool. He's good. I wouldn't call him cool because my next guy, he's gonna be playing the 4. He could play a little bit of 3. He could switch up with Brandon Ingram, but he has the most swag off the court. If he didn't play in Los Angeles, nobody would really care, but he does.
Oh, you're picking my guy.
It's Kyle Kuzma. He's another one of those guys where he was built for 1997. He can hit those post fadeaways. He can kind of shoot a 3. He's like, he's like a poor man's Keith Van Horn. Just gonna go out there and look good, look pretty, date some cheerleaders, date some Hollywood people, and be mediocre on the court. That's Kyle Kuzma.
I don't know. I think he's going to flame out, kind of like when Larry Nance played with LeBron, Jordan Clarkson. You know, those guys were really hyped up playing in LA, but when they weren't playing with a guy like LeBron James, they
Yeah.
kind of
And
took a
that's the
step
epitome
down.
of what the all cool team is. Jordan Clarkson is an okay basketball player at best, but what do you call him? Cool? Yeah, he's cool. He's got the tattoos. I think he dated a Jenner, where he's cool.
I think I got a cool guy next.
Wait, I think I get the next pick though, because it's
Okay, okay.
the next one is someone who I think if he played on a bad team in a large market, people would be overhyping the heck out of him, but he plays in Charlotte, so they're not. Devontae Graham, shooting.
Love him. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he averages 19 points a game, 7 assists on 38% shooting, which is the epitome of all cool team. Because you know what? He does it because he has to. There's no talent on that team, so he gets to average 18 points a game. He has no business averaging 18 points a game. He's gonna be in the league for a long time, but man, it's really cool to just watch someone jack up that many threes and then just call it a day. He's my point guard. I yeah. And so I think I got I need a point. So yeah, let's see. So far I've got Devontae, Kuzma, and Brandon Ingram.
Just one thing. Devontae Graham is this Hornets' best player on 2K. He's an 80 overall.
See, and if 80 overall is the epitome of that's about I would say 83 is where you can max out on your all cool status.
Yeah. My next guy, he might be above in 83 on 2K, but he's one of the coolest dudes in the league. He's probably the modern day Kenyon Martin, I'd say right now. Montrezl Harrell. He is an Energizer bunny. He gave me his headband actually at a Grizzly Clippers game back in November, which is really cool. But I mean, he's a guy who gets buckets, and really he would start on probably 23 other teams in the NBA. And I just love him. I want him on my team, Montrezl Harrell.
He's one of those guys where his range, he knows his range. His range is 3 feet of the basket. Coach, you need me to? Is it within 3 shot? Is it within 3 feet? I got you, coach. Is it within 5 feet? I can get you within 3 feet, coach. And speaking of that, rounding out my starting five, we can do our 6th man after this. My last player is a guy from Western Kentucky who didn't actually play at Western Kentucky. He is being horribly misused on the Knicks. But he is one of those guys that for some reason on NBA 2K, you can always trade a 2nd-round pick for him. Mitchell Robinson.
I knew you were going to say him.
Well, he doesn't do a lot of things. He gets dunks and he blocks shots, which is basically what gets the girls numbers,
DeAndre Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, so basically he does all of the things that get you on the highlight reel. And he actually does help you win games, but if he was asked to do anything more than he's been asked to be doing, he'd be horribly less efficient. But gosh darn it, Mitchell Robinson's great at I'm going to dunk the ball and I'm going to block shots. And I need that on my team. Okay, so who's your 6th man?
Kind of a typical pick for a 6th man. Guy who's not very good at defense, but man, wouldn't shock me if he's 40 still playing in the league in a rotation. JJ Redick. I think JJ Redick you can lose track of him on the court because he's so fast running around the baseline screens. And he's just a guy who's a pro. He plays on winning teams for the most part. And I just think, he's like a career almost 40% 3-point shooter. And he's always been cool. And he's got a podcast on The Ringer. I mean, you got to be cool if you got your own podcast, right?
Oh, boy. My team would stuff your team in a locker. We're not going to win on the basketball court, but we're going to stuff your people in a locker, call them nerds. Especially with my 6th man, who is America's 6th man, Lou Williams, who is the epitome of cool. He's going to get all the buckets, your dirty buckets. 3 seconds left in the shot clock, he'll do something off the dribble drive, do a really cool layup. He'll give you a step back. Will he catch and shoot? Sometimes, but that's not what gets the numbers. That's not what gets the ladies. You need to be cool. And Lou Williams is the epitome of cool. and he's going to stuff your team in a locker. So it doesn't even matter if we win or lose. Your team's going to end up, with a big wedgie at the end anyways. So
You know what? I think I'm short on a pick.
you need a sixth man.
So I did my sixth man, which was JJ, before my last starter. But my last starter is, I'm being a little homer here, but Brandon Clark of the Memphis Grizzlies. Brandon Clark is shooting like 62%. He can hit threes. He can get to the hoop, and everyone loves him. He's cool. He's got great fashion, and I think he's going to be an all-star probably one day. I really like Brandon Clark.
I like Brandon Clark as a player. I think he's going to be a fantastic player in the same way that Ersan Ilyasova is a fantastic player. As in, he's going to
better than Ilyasova.
Start on a winning team. He's going to be good. All-star. Back up, buddy. Back up. He's not even going to be the best big on his own team, dude. But yeah. And so we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and basically go over what our lineups are by position. I'm going to go ahead and start with my own because I have it pulled up here. My point guard is Devontae Graham. My shooting guard is Zach LaVine. My 3 is Brandon Ingram. My 4 is Kyle Kuzma. My 5 is Mitchell Robinson. And my 6th man is Lou Williams.
All right. My team, head coach Shane Battier, point guard Spencer Dinwiddie, shooting guard CJ McCollum, small forward Bojan Bogdanovic, power forward Brandon Clark, center Montrezl Harrell, and 6th man JJ Redick. I think we should 2K our lineups versus each other. See who wins.
Once again, you're gonna win, but that's not the point here. The point is it cool? And I think your team is a bunch of nerds. And one thing, you're gonna be stuffed in a locker. You're gonna have the trophy of winning the game, but you're also gonna have a bloody nose from being stuffed in a locker. Any honorable mentions of guys that almost made the cut?
Yeah, I thought about Aaron Baines.
My gosh, Brownie, you do not know what cool is, dude.
He is. I mean, besides getting dunked on by Ja, I think he's pretty cool.
See, you just mentioned a cool player. And being dunked on by.
I know, but that's unfair to say Ja.
That's why I didn't put Ja. Because I know Ja's gonna be a future Hall of Famer, so it's like.
Yeah.
I had a few. I had a big board of about 20 players. I'm just gonna name a few. Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray's really cool, especially after that Instagram video got leaked. It's like, yeah, look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Ish Smith. Ish Smith is the king of being the 6th man on a team that's going for the 9 seed, but he's gonna do it in really cool ways. On 9 dribbles, mid-range shot, over 3 defenders. Bam Adebayo, Antonio Blakeney. I don't know if he's in the league right now, but he's the king of I'm going to get buckets no matter what. Tim Hardaway Jr., Dennis Schroeder. I considered Terrence Davis Jr., but he's more of a guy that's he's a guy that provides fire to a team, and I feel like fire is the opposite of ice, which is cool. So I still love him, but I wouldn't call him I wouldn't put him on my all cool team. I put him on my all bench mob team. But not on my all-cool team.
I also like DJ Augustine.
DJ Augustine, I could see it. Not his year with the Pacers. He stunk with the Pacers and wasn't cool because he played for the Pacers. I think playing for any team that's like Jazz or the Pacers, just your cool rating is automatically handicapped down about 12 points because it's just very hard to be cool on those teams.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was our all-cool team. Thank you, Browning, for coming on the show. I'm not sure when this is going to be released. Probably sometime this week. I don't know. This is just a hobby. So, yeah. Peace.
Peace.
Ending the recording.